So here's what our temperature gauge is saying this morning. This is about 10 to 7 on Sunday morning. It's a cold morning. The sun's just starting to come up over the trees in the back here. Looks like it's going to be a real pretty day. We're going to cook on this stove here today. It's a good cold day outside, so this ought to help heat the shop up a little bit. I'm going to split some kindling to get it started with. This here ought to catch on fire pretty good. That's some dried pine that I had in here in the shop. It ought to start up real easy. After we get us a good flame, I've got some bigger pieces of oak kindling over there that I should be able to feed it with to build the coals up to where we can cook. It don't take a whole lot to cook right over these two eyes. You don't have to have a whole lot of fire in there. So I'll get this fire going and I'll be back with you. The way I usually do this is I just ball up some newspaper and put in my firebox down in here first, and then I'll lay this little kindling on top of it. If you do this at home and it's your first time ever doing it, make sure you put the eyes back over. If you don't, all that smoke comes out in here. If I don't have them on, it just blows the smoke out. I usually take these eyes out when I'm starting it. It makes it easier to get my kindling in there, but then I'll put them back on as soon as I light the fire. So you can see I've got it started in here pretty good. You'll get black all over you when you put on one of these old stoves. See, it's starting to smoke some here. I think when I close these doors, it'll pull it out. Yeah, that's happened when I close that door. I guess when I open up too many openings, it's not having enough pull on the pipe to pull it up. I've got this vent on this side open too to where it can pull air to the fire. So it shouldn't be too awful long. We'll be ready to cook. Hey, I could shoot the temperature on here and see what we are now and then see what we are when we start cooking. 156 right over top of the fire. I'm going to put a little bit of this oak in here now. It's done pretty hot. It's done trying to boil. I've got just a little water in there. I don't like leaving just an empty skillet over the heat. It probably hadn't been just a few minutes. We're reading 550 degrees Fahrenheit right here now. I think we're hot enough. It's starting boiling pretty good in here. When we put this salty meat in here, it'll probably boil even better. I'm going to cheat just a little bit and use some hot water. So this ham here has got a lot of fat on it. Now you could cook that with all that fat on it if you want to. I don't want that much fat on mine. I'm going to cut half of this off. Now it's not going to go to waste. I'm going to fry that fat for my dog Bobo. He loves it. And I'll tell you something else I give it to. Is I give a little bit of it to my chickens. They love it. They like it raw, but it's usually cooked when I give it to them because I cook it for Bobo. He'll eat it raw too, but I think he likes it better fried. So right there's what that ham's going to look like. This is our ham that we made here ourselves in 2020. I've had it vacuum sealed. I don't think I've done a cooking video of the ham yet. I may have, but it ain't been on the wood cook stove. It's going to taste so much different coming off this wood cook stove. I don't know why, but it will. In my opinion, this is not the best cut of the ham. It'll be a little tougher. I can't tell you exactly what cut this is. I can recognize it by looking at it, but there's different cuts on a country ham. Some cuts are a lot tenderer and better tasting in my opinion. If you're ever cooking like this in cast iron, try not to let your pan get hot before you add the water. You need some water in it as it's getting hot. I didn't know that when I was real young. We were butchering a hog one time, and we had my great-grandma's big cast iron kettle there, gonna cook the cracklings in it. And Daddy had told me to heat it up and get it ready for the cracklings to be cooked in it. Well, I put it on the fire, had it getting real hot, and I poured a little water in it, and it popped. It didn't break. I thank God for it, because as far as I know, that's the only thing that we have from my great-grandma was that kettle, and we still use it today. But I learned a lesson there. You don't never put cold water, or any kind of water in my opinion, in a hot cast iron skillet or kettle. I just knowed it had broke. It popped real loud. When that salt starts coming out of that meat, that water will start boiling a lot quicker. I do everything with my pocket knife. I would be lost without it. This here, I'll fry it after all the water comes out of it. I'm not worried about getting the salt out of it. Them chickens and that dog, they need a little salt. So we've got a real good boil going on here now. It's probably been boiling close to a minute real good. I'm about ready to pour the water off of it and start frying it. I think we'll do that now. Go ahead and pour the water out. So we got the water out of it now. You can hear it starting to fry. Hope y'all can hear it on the video. I'm not going to cook it very long because I don't want to overcook this. It's not the tenderest part of the ham. I brought y'all a little closer. Maybe you can see better now. And I hope the sound of this shows up on there. I wish the smell of it could show up on the video. I may even make some red eye gravy here this morning. I hadn't ate any in a long time. I'm just about ready. I am taking this piece here out. He's as done as I want him. Boy, this smells so good. I wish y'all could smell it. I noticed one thing about cooking with this wood is the whole skillet is hot. Usually on that gas I have to move it into the middle to brown it, but it's browning everywhere on here. Oh, let's see, I gotta throw Bobo's fat on here and cook it too. This is for Bobo and the chickens. We'll cook it pretty brown, and that way I can get some more of that red in my skillet for my red eye gravy. Well, we've about got Bobo's fat fried up here for him. Now I save a little bit of the grease, and then you add water to it. And that'll be red eye gravy. The South's finest red eye gravy. So I hope this shows up. I put just a little too much water. I'll have to boil most of the water out of it. But you can see, I hope you can see, that it's sort of red looking. I guess that's where it got its name. I know when you pour it in a bowl and you're dipping it out on your biscuit from the table, it'd be water and red, greasy, red streaks in it. So this is the red eye gravy. You leave a little grease in your skillet and you add some water to it, and you just let it boil on here for a little while and stir it around, get all the remains of what you just fried scratched off the bottom of your skillet. Some people like it. I don't care nothing much for it. But I thank y'all for watching. I pray God blesses you, and I'll see you in the next one.